Hey guys, what's up? Sarah here. I really wanted to make another video, just reading from the Bible. I ran across this chapter in 1 Kings, chapter 13, talking about a man of God from Judah. And I just wanted to talk about it because I just woke up this morning and I felt like God was telling me to go read the Bible. And so I just opened up my Bible and I opened up right to the scripture. And here in the Bible we're talking about a man of God from Judah going to Bethel. And he went to do the will of the Lord. And when he was going through, God told him, here in the scripture, he said, you shall neither eat bread nor drink water there, nor return by the way that you came. And so he is going through Bethel, and he is doing what God is wanting him to do. And through that, this older prophet heard about the things that he had done. And he told his sons to saddle a donkey for him, and he went looking for him. And so in the scripture here, God has told this man to not eat bread, nor drink, and nor go the way he came in this land. And so this older prophet had heard about him, and he goes seeking him. And when he finds him, he tells the man to come back to his house and to eat and drink with him. And the man tells him what God has told him. Okay, he tells him that God told me to not eat nor drink in this land, and that I shall not go the way that I came. And so this older prophet tells this man from Judah that God sent an angel to him and told him to bring him back to his house. And this great man from Judah went back to his house, knowing that God had told him not to eat nor drink in this land. And so I wanted to use a example in this, or here, let me continue. So he goes back to this man's house, and once they're there at this man's house and they're eating, God speaks to this old prophet and tells him, because this man from Judah has disobeyed him, that he is going to take his life. And so when they finish eating and drinking, they saddled a donkey for him and sent him on his way, and a lion came and killed him. And so the lion didn't devour him, but he killed him. And the lion didn't devour the donkey either. And so that was the consequence of that man disobeying God. And he was killed. God sent a lion to kill him. And one thing that I thought about when reading that scripture was, if we think about it this way, let's say your mom tells you that you can't go over to your friend's house. Let's say her name's Sally. And Sally comes over to your house and tells you to come to her house and play. And you tell her, my mother told me I can't go. And then she says, well, I talked to your mother and she said you can. And so you go, knowing that your mother had told you not to. Now, the first thing you would think that a child might do is go back to their mother and ask, did you tell this person that I should go? Did you tell Sally that I could go to her house? And then your mother will tell you no or yes. And that's one thing that this man didn't do. He knew that God told him to not eat nor drink in this land, nor go the way you came. And he disobeyed. And the consequence of it was death. And it's so simple what he should have done. He should have gone back to God and asked, God, did you send an angel to this man to tell me to go to his house, or to bring me to his house? And he didn't. He didn't go back to God and ask, God, you told me not to eat nor drink in this land, yet this man says that an angel was sent to him and told him to bring me back to his house and feed me and give me water. And a lot of people need to know God's voice for themselves. He knew what God had told him, yet he disobeyed and therefore was killed. People today need to know God's voice for themselves, because one day you will be tested like that. God will tell you one thing, someone else will come along saying something else, and you need to know God's voice for yourself. And you need to ask God, this person, you told me this person said that you told them this. What am I supposed to do? It's so easy to just go, oh, okay, well, God told him this, so let me just go on ahead. And it takes much more time and effort to go back to God and say, you told me to not eat nor drink, and this man said that you sent him an angel and told him to bring me back to his house to eat and drink. It's so easy to just go along with it, rather than go back to God and ask that question, what's going on? It's so easy to get sidetracked and forget what God has told you. Some people are being told what to do, and then someone else is coming along and saying something else and saying, well, God told me this. And they're going, oh, well, God told you that? Okay. You're going to need you're going to need to know the voice of God for yourself. Because in the end times, when the end is coming and Jesus is coming back to get us, you're going to need to know where to be, when to be there, what you're supposed to be doing, and you're only going to know by God speaking to you. He's not going to continue to send other people to you and talk to you. It's way too easy, okay, to listen to other people. You're going to have to know God's voice for yourself, okay? Going off of what other people say could be dangerous, okay? You have to know God's voice for yourself. There's too many things going on in this world for you to just listen and hear God tell you what to do, and then someone else comes and said, well, God told me this, and then for you not to go back and talk to God, that is disobedience. That is disobedience. And this man died because of it. He died simply because he went and ate bread and drank water. Or wine, whatever it was. And he died. The simple little thing. Eating bread and drinking water in a land that God told him not to. And this got him killed. The simple thing that he could have done to avoid it would have been to go back to God and say, what are you telling me? That's it. Go back to God and ask, this is what you told me. This is what someone else is saying that you're saying. What is right? What's right and what's wrong? Tell me, God. All he had to do was say, I'll pray about it. And then stop and pray about it. But it was too easy for him to just go, well, okay. And this story is in here for us to learn from it. If we read this and can't see with our own eyes what should have happened, what's wrong? If you can't read that and learn from it, there's something wrong. This man was told something by God and then went and disobeyed. And it cost him his life. So that was just something that I woke up to this morning. and read and felt like I should share and talk about. But there's some people who need to start hearing God's voice for yourself. Okay? Christianity is like a Christmas tree. There are many people, okay, at the bottom. The bottom of a Christmas tree is wide, but the more we become like Christ, and the closer to the top of the tree you get, the less there are. When the end times come, you're going to need to know your voice, God's voice, for yourself. And you're going to have to stop depending on other people, okay, to tell you what God is saying. You have to start wanting to hear God's voice for yourself. You're going to need to start listening and obeying. Disobedience is what got this man killed. Disobedience. There was nothing else he did other than eat and drink. And he died. Because that is exactly what God told him not to do. Disobedience can cost you your life. The more you start learning to hear and know God's voice, the more accountable you are. Okay, I'm not going to expect the same level of maturity from a 2-year-old that I expect from a 10-year-old or a 15-year-old. There is accountability in your actions. When God knows that you know how to hear his voice, and he knows you're hearing him and you're deliberately disobeying, you're going to have a higher accountability than those who are just starting to learn to hear his voice. There is a higher level of accountability. Okay? God could have gave this man a second chance. But something tells me that he was already in a walk with God where God knows that this man knows his voice and he knows how to obey and he knows that he should ask, and he disobeyed and then he got killed. When you are in such a place with God and at such a level, a high level with God, you can't try to act like a baby anymore because you're not a baby Christian. Those people who are so high, okay, and have this high ranking with God and are at a certain level with God are going to have a higher accountability. What they're teaching other people, the people in the church, okay, all those pastors and everyone who is in the pulpits preaching, all those people who have a high level with God and are not obeying him are going to have a high accountability, and they're going to have a great punishment if they don't start obeying God and leading his people in the right direction. But I think I'm going to stop it at that. You guys have a good day, and peace out.